Yes, that's where. Yeah. Okay. So I think we'll start. Yeah. All right. Well, so let's start with our customary opening. Here we go. So I've taken away the animations for this section here, for this one, okay? So we're just going to read this one and then we'll do the next. Okay. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Okay, I think I have the animations on this one. So, yeah. Va'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol modecha. Now, let's see. This one, yes, this one we did learn already. Okay. So, Vahayu hadavarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavacha hayom al lavavecha. Now, this is verse 7. And it says this, and you shall impress them, these words spoken by Moses, upon your children, while you are sitting in your house, while you walk in the road, when you lay down at night, and when you rise up in the morning. So it goes, Veshinamtam levanecha vadabarta bam b'shiftecha bevetecha uvlechtecha v'derech ushochbecha uvakumecha. Yeah, lots of chas in this one, yeah. Lots of kaf sofits, as you can see in this. It's very packed. Now, this next piece, we're going to learn another song. This one is very popular outside of Judaism. Most Christians actually know this one. I was stunned when my wife was able to sing along when she heard it the first time. She's like, oh, I know this one. So, טוב ומעניים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומעניים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, הנה לי 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 טוב ומעניים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומעניים, שבת אחים גם יחד. Isn't that fun? Yeah, Hinei Ma Tov. It's this, of course. How many of you have heard this one before? So it's how good and pleasant it is when brothers can dwell together in peace. That's what it is. It's from the Psalms. Yeah, I thought you guys might like that one. So much of the lesson this evening is going to be spent on trying to make sure we understood what happened last week, because it's a lot. This week we actually have a much smaller new material type lesson. Everything is going to be very condensed and very simple. So let's go ahead and take a look at these. I did page by page for the homework, starting with page 76. Does this look right for you? So it says find the nun and nun sofits. There should be 3. There's a nun at the beginning, a nun sofit at the far end, and the 4th word in has a nun at the second to last letter. All right, so that look right to you? And what is the word there that we're supposed to find? It's prophet. Now, what is the word in Hebrew? Navi. Right. Tov. All right. Let's see. Write in the correct form of the nun in these Hebrew words. Do you have any questions on this one? Of course, I don't know if you guys have. Did anyone encounter any difficulties with this one? Yeah.
I just want to know, how do you say the word soup?
Navid.
What is it?
Nazid. Nazid. Nazid.
Nazid?
Yeah, Nazid. Yeah. Oh, so that one's important. Notice how it's a nun, and then it's a vav with a dagesh, which makes an u sound, and then a nun sofit. So it's nun. Nun. Yeah.
And how, and is comfort
Nechama.
Nechama.
Nechama. Yep. Nechama. Yeah. Yeah, so the segol, which is the 3 dots, goes eh. Yeah. Nechama. Yep, and then of course we have our famous boat builder. So you remember we learned a little bit about how the patach behaves with the het at the end of the word. So it says noach. Yeah, so the het is making that is the sound at the end of the word instead of the patach. Yeah, so it's hard to get this to line up exactly right. The patach should actually be sort of under that first leg on the right more than it is centered. You have to play with fonts to get that exactly right. But I tried my best.
So, okay, this is a dumb question, but basically, a lot of the words that we read in our Bible, Hebrew names of people, we're not pronouncing them right in English, are we?
No, even like
Jesus and
yeah.
Israel and
We're not pronouncing them according to what they said. No. Part of that is
we're
too.
saying them the way that we said, but okay.
Yeah. So it actually, we have to go back in time a little ways to understand how these names are pronounced. Mostly it comes from the sort of the Hellenization of the Hebrew names. So like Yeshua would have become Jesus, which comes over into Latin, Jesus. And then the J from the German, there's a ya there, and then eventually it gets transliterated into ja in English, Jesus. There's a whole string of these things that happen. Not to mention, like the name Nachshon there. Nachshon, I think it's Nashon is how that's usually pronounced, is Nashon. That gets rid of the guttural almost entirely. So it's Nachshon.
So, okay, well, I just realized all my employees are Mexican.
Okay.
I've had a couple of Jesus people work for me.
Yeah, Jesus.
But they're pronouncing it more correctly, Jesus, because they don't have a J sound in Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Well, in Hebrew, it's Yeshua. So.
Yeah. But, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we're actually going to do a lesson on Hebrew names coming up soon. So we're actually going to learn how to write our names.
Enough on that.
No, you're fine. I
on how we don't, in English, we don't pronounce them very well.
Well, the thing is, it's a foreign language. It's just, like I have 2 Korean students in my junior class, and actually 3 in my senior class this year. Their names, they're hard to pick up. Like one of them is Chun, but we call her Chan because it's easier for us to say. But I actually have the ear for the Chun part. It's really difficult for Americans to pick those out sometimes. And that's true for any language, not just Americans, anybody speaking any language that's not native to them. It's very difficult. So, I mean, I don't fault Americans or anyone for having a different pronunciation of the names. It's fine, It's just a translation or transliteration into a new language. Hebrew does it in reverse for English words. So.
A lot of people that came to America, their names were changed when they came.
Yeah, a lot of folks actually changed their name altogether. They came and gave a false name or a different spelling of the name so as to not draw attention to themselves. Some people would do that because of where they're coming from. It had a stigma, and they would either get turned back or they would be subject to some kind of harassment or limitations. And so they would deliberately try to cover up where they came from. So, unfortunately, prejudice still reigns today, but boo, it makes me sad. So yeah, so that's any other questions on this one? Okay. So let's read these ones together. Can you see those okay? So we have, these are actually real words we're going to be speaking here. So what is this one? Amen. Eden. Eden. Yep. As in the garden. Gan Eden. Yeah. Yeah, what's not up there is Gan. It's a Gimel Nun. Gan is garden. Gan Eden is how you say the Garden of Eden. Okay. Yom. Yom. And then this is Achal. Yep. Yeah. So it would be a K sound if it had a Dagesh. So that's, you got to remember that Dagesh makes it a hard sound. So
what is it now then?
it's Achal. It may even be that this might actually be doing the O sound. It just depends. This could be doing Ochel, which is food. But I think it's actually spelled with a cholim, so I think it's Achal. Yeah, Achal. Ach, brother. Ach. Achot is sister. And so this is Achal again. Yeah, I think I may have missed that somehow. So, Zaz. Yeah, Zaz. Ain. So, yeah, so this, the Sere makes an A sound. An A, so Ain. So this is one of those times where the Yud is actually doing more than it's broadcasting normally. With the Hirik, it does less, unless certain situations are met. But this one is Ain. Okay? Evan, stone. Evan, that's right. Bima. Emet. Bima. This is where they would do the preaching from. The bima. This is where in the synagogue. This is where they would be doing the preaching. Very good. Bo, come. Bo. Banim, children. We've actually seen this word in our verses when we started. Levanecha, banim. Kan, correct.
It's different in our book.
What is that one?
It's got the 2 dots.
Oh, so that'd be ken.
Ken.
So yes, ken. Ken. Okay. Thank you. I will make a note of that and fix it. Thank you. Tovim. Tovim. Yep. This is mem sofit. So tovim. So it's something, plural, is good. So you might be like Rabbeim Tovim, which is good rabbis. Okay, this is one I think the adults in the room can really appreciate. Yain. Yep, yain, wine. It even sounds like wine, doesn't it?
Is
Yeah.
wine like W-H or W-I?
Like wine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beverage, not the child.
Not. That's correct. Correct. Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, so in the Greek, the word yain is oinos. I mean, it still kind of sounds like wine, doesn't it? Yeah, just a little. Yeah, yain. Yes, just a little yain, little oinos. Just take a little yain for your stomach. It feels good. It feels fantastic. Ahav. Now, what does that sound like? Sounds like what? It's it's actually the stem. Ahav. It's ahav, ahava. Yep, that's right. This is the stem. Who, which now I think I've told you this before. Let me remind you. In Hebrew, who is he and he is she. No confusion, right? Trust me, it gets better. But honestly, we're learning the hard stuff now. When you learn how to actually read it, it gets way simpler in so many respects. It's the conjugations that are the next hardest thing, but even then, it's not too bad. Once you start using it, it gets a little bit clearer.
I failed in high school.
Well,
Failed English in high school, so this has been really fun.
you don't have to be a language expert to get something meaningful from this experience. And so I promise you, you will find this. You're going to find.
Prepositions the other day, I went, what are those?
Okay, so I'll tell you the truth. Like learning that stuff, even in this level, killed me because we didn't do the grammatical approach in school. We never talked about this stuff except in passing. I just learned how to use English just by using it, you know. So I don't fault you for that at all. It's totally relatable. Okay. So what is this one? Vala. Yep, vala. And then bum. That's it. Nice job. And then we have a few more from this page. All right. Yama. That's right.
What was that one?
Yama. Yama. Now notice it has the dagesh, doubling dagesh. So, yeah. So this is one where it's going. Let me transliterate it for you so you can see it. So that is a kamatz. Okay. And it's a hey. So this one is doing this. Goodness, I promise I can spell. Yama. In fact, one of my favorite bands is called Yama Ensemble. They're amazing.
So that doubles the consonant?
Yeah.
The M consonant?
Yep.
Or the mem consonant, whatever?
Yep, that's right.
The dot in the middle of the letter.
Yeah,
Normally have a dot. Yeah.
it normally does not, and sometimes, like when it's called it's just called a doubling dagesh. At this point, you see it. So there's the forte, and then there's the one that doubles. The forte is the one that makes it go from a guttural, like kaf. It goes from chaf to kaf. But so chaf kaf for your coffee drinkers out there. That was a dumb joke. They all land. Sometimes they land, sometimes they don't. Anyway.
Your coffee shirt is just bringing it out.
Well, something's got to do it. It may as well be the shirt. But yeah, so in this case, it's one of those doubling ones. Sometimes it's a forte, sometimes it's a doubler, and sometimes it's a confuser. Every song a hit, every hit a smack. All right, here we go. All right. Yeah, meya. Yeah, meya. Yep. Now, you notice how it's you can you almost detect the apostrophe there? Meya. Yeah, meya. Yeah, you can. So with an ayin, that is a much harder hit. It to the untrained ear, it doesn't sound as strong. But if we had an ayin here, we would have me'a versus me'a. You hear that? Yeah. Me'a. The pause would be a little longer, and you would hit the ah sound a little firmer. So the ayin does that. Okay. Bana, to build. Bana. Beged. Beged. So beged was actually one of my classmates' least favorite words. She was vociferously against this word. Beged, a garment. She hated this word. And my professor would go, he'd look right at her and go, beged. And she'd be like, oh. Oh. I have stories. Okay. Leich. Yeah. In this case, remember, it's the sere, so it's leich. Leich. Yep. Yep. Well, this is be a chet. So, chain. Chain. Yeah. Chain. Yeah. So careful, because kain would actually be a kaf with a dagesh. So, chain. I know it's a little hard. It's a little tough. Yeah, chain. Yeah. Now this one, I think you guys know. This is a good word. Lechem. Lechem. Bread. As in Bet Lechem. Bethlehem? Yeah. Lechem. Yep. Good. Oh, you guys know this one. Melech. Tov. What's that? Levi, as in Levi. Levi. Yep, the tribe of Levi. So this, yes. Now, so the vav is doing a lot of different things. So sometimes, let's see. This is another instance. This is the word banaiv. Banaiv is like it's the son of somebody. Yeah, so there'd be no dagesh in this. Oh, you're right. Banaiv. Yeah, thank you. Banaiv. Now, this is one of those times where it's one of these times where this the vav is doing the v thing. In this case, the va thing it's doing is levi. As opposed to it being a vet, it's a vav. And so at the end of words and at the other places, the vav can do different things. And this is one of those times where it's going levi. It doesn't have to have the dagesh in it in order for it to do that, in this case. I think the only ones I seem to remember the only ones we learned on that point are the ones where it's going like this. And then, what was the other? Yeah, that'd be vo. And then it was this one, wasn't it? Va. Yeah, vo and va. Yeah. So that's one of those times where this one is doing the va sound, but it doesn't require the dagesh to do it. Hebrew, everybody.
Why? Because.
Sometimes that is literally what we get. Is sometimes it is literally just because, or I don't know, because Rebbe's. Magen. Yep, magen. It's magen, which is a shield. In fact, you've seen the Star of David. They don't call it a star. Rabbi Kochav David. They actually call it the Magen David, which is the shield of David. The fact that the star is the symbol of Judaism makes me happy. I love that. I love it so much. Damim. That's right. Damim, blood. Bloods, plural. Ninjas say this. Haya. Yeah, and this is the verb to be. So, you'll see this one an awful lot.
I said or lo,
Haya or lo.
to be or not.
To be. Oh, and actually, since you mentioned it, the word or is o. Yeah, yeah. Haya or lo haya. That is the question. That is the question. Whether it is noble or never mind. Okay. So I don't know how you guys did on this one. If you got to this, I was definitely having fun with this. Putting this one together was a lot of fun for me.
I almost have them all matched up.
Okay, what's different for you?
I didn't know how to do Israel. I guess the style would have been good.
Yeah.
And then my prophet is just a stick man that says, I know what's coming.
Oh.
My bread almost looks the same and everything. It was great.
You did challah and
I tried to do a thumbs up. I'm not an
so this is what I love about this is it's challah. I was like, I need to find some good Jewish.
bread.
I was looking for some Jewish bread and I didn't have to look hard. It was there. And I was like, yes,
This is the best kind of.
it really is. That and matzah. I do love matzah.
I need to practice my star. So the star is actually
Two triangles.
Just two triangles. So actually, here's the formula for a good Star of David. We're learning more than just words in Hebrew. We're learning art. The perfect angle for this is 60 degrees. Now, I say it's perfect, and then I don't do that. So, upside down,
Something I can relate to. My quilting rulers.
oh.
There you go.
60 degrees. 60. Yeah, no, it's really great when you can use those for that. See, in 60-degree angles. That's it. Yep, and then this is darn near what I have on my Mountain Dew shirt. Very close. Yep, so of course we know these words. We have lechem,
Bread.
well, melech, Navi, Yisrael. Now this one I don't know if you can see that very well from where you're sitting, but there's a little outline of the nation of Israel. Then we have thumbs up and of course the Tov and Lo. Haya or Lo Haya. Lo Haya. Lama. Good. Yeah, I don't know. There's actually going to be another one of these in this lesson, which is cool. All right, 83. This one was actually really simple. Find and circle samech in this verse. Look out for the mem sofit, which is distinguished by having a square rather than round base. So I remember telling you guys, you got to look out for that flat bottom. Is it bad that I actually went there?
Will you pronounce this letter for me?
Samech.
Samech.
Yep, samech. Yep. It's very similar to sameach, but that's spelled with a sin, which we're going to learn today. So, yay. So did you find it right here? Yeah. And so the mem sofit, you can see there's actually 1, 2 of them here. Good if you didn't circle those. Fantastic job. And now you'll notice that the samech was the first letter of the word Sinai. So Sinai. So that's here. So Sinai. Yeah.
So how come that's nai instead of na?
Instead of na.
On the end, the in and the top, or kamatz.
Oh, you know what I left? There's a cantillation marks in there too. There was a bunch of cantillation marks in this. I forgot to delete them. Like this right here, these are not, these little slashies here are not vowel pointings. Those are,
And you've got it different than the book did. That's what's missing in the book.
no, I copied these right offline. It makes doing these faster. These are verses straight from Scripture. But these cantillation marks, which are talked about in this book, are in fact there to help people to pace when they're chanting the Torah. So, yeah. And so, cantillation. So it's like a chant. Well, yeah, yes. Yes. It's as opposed to I can't do this. No. One thing I can tell you is you can do this. You're doing amazing, and I appreciate you guys. So as opposed to sine is actually a bush. Yeah, as a matter of fact, the sine is the burning bush, is the word used for that one. But it's not Sinai. Yeah. So, good. So we got this one. Now, did you see the samech in this one as well? On page 83. I left the cantillation marks in here too because I am a silly goose. So, incidentally, what I love there is that the two places where the samech shows up is the word sus. Sus, horse. See, doesn't it sound like horse? Like Seuss, horse? A little bit? Or Dr. Seuss? No. Okay. That's actually how I actually learned this word by saying Seuss, Dr. Seuss. But then I was like, but horse, I actually tried to make sure that I focused on that as opposed to doctor. So that would be a mistake. Now, did you find the word Israel okay? Yisrael. And then the last word in this verse means the sea. Now, which part means the? Which part means sea? I have given to you here. So it's what? The, that's right. That's a ha, yam, as hayam, as opposed to hayom. Do you know that you can hear the difference? So let me make sure to show you the distinction here. So this is doing the work of the direct object marker, the article the, and then this is. It's very easy to get these confused. Oh, yes. Yes, it is. It does. And that's actually one of those dagesh fortes. It is not a doubling dagesh. It is a forte. It's just an emphatic, like this needs, yeah, hayam, as opposed to hayam. So, like the word by itself would not have the dagesh there. It'd be just yam, hayam. It's kind of an emphatic. And then this word below, I want to make sure we distinguish between this. Hayom. Hayom. Yom is day. So Hayom is the day or today. Today. Hayom.
Okay, so the one on top, you pronounced it like Hayam, like Y-U-M, rather than the O-O-M.
Hayam. Hayom. Yeah.
Not Hayum, it's Hayam.
Yeah. Hayum would have the dot here. And I'm not sure if that's a word. It would not shock me if it was. But I don't know that if it is. But Hayom is the day or today, depending on context. You could say Hayom Adonai, that's the day of the Lord. So if we were to say this, and we have to supply the word of. So the day of the Lord, Hayom Adonai.
I don't understand why that's pronounced Adonai.
Oh, so this would be a good time to talk about this then. So the word, this of course, what do you know what this means? It's Yahweh, right? So, yeah, so now Yahweh is an approximation. The fact is, we do not really know what the original pronunciation of this word was. Yahweh is the best that people can get.
And they didn't say it.
They did, yeah, this is the ineffable, unpronounceable name of God. And they put that there for a couple of reasons. One, foolishness, I think, foolishness. God gave us his title, his name, which was Yahweh, as best as we can tell. But they didn't want to, in any way, shape, or form, do any damage to it or dishonor him in any way. And so they refused to pronounce it, but they did call him the Lord. And Adonai, this word, it means my Lord. So it means my Lord. The Adon by itself is Lord, as in a Lord. So like someone would call Yeshua Adon Yeshua or Adonai Yeshua. So they put the vowel pointings from this word onto this when the Masoretes were adding the vowel pointings. That's the summary version of this. They didn't want to mispronounce and abuse the name of God in any way, and so they put the vowel pointings for my Lord on there so that they could have something as a reference to show what it was saying.
What's the third letter?
This,
Yeah.
Vav.
Okay.
Yeah, I wrote it in a hurry, see.
It's fine. Just wanted to make sure I was the way.
Yeah, this one actually is very Resh-like almost. So we've got to be careful, like that. Okay. I hope that helped.
Good, thank you.
Good. See, we learn more than just words in this class. We learn history. Okay. This one is one of those lovely ones where we may or may not have had the same answers. So, this one, we're just playing with English at this point, playing with English words and Hebrew letters. Any of these that you had questions about?
I did a different CH sound. I did like the Sophit.
Kaf Sofit?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Because it makes the same sound.
Yeah, okay, so let's, I'm sorry if you guys needed to stop me. Let's see. All right, so I'm trying to puzzle that out. I think it's probably fine. Yeah, so like, did you do it with that?
Yeah.
Like that? Okay. And then it was Segel, yeah? No. Yes, it was.
Yeah, I did mess this, yeah.
Okay, so Loch Ness. Okay, all right. Okay, I can see that. Like I said, what I'm getting is I'm seeing it and I'm thinking, okay, this is one way to do it. There's probably others. It's all approximation. Any others that you had questions about? I thought for sure maybe Nave would be one that throw you a little. But then again, maybe the Tsere was clear enough. It's an A sound. Nave. And then below it is hail.
See, I'm like always confused where I should put that little yid.
The yud, yeah,
Yeah,
so let me think if I can.
like on Nave, I didn't put it, but you put it.
So what did you put there?
I didn't have, and I just had, the first two letters the same. But
Okay.
I didn't put the
But-
yid on it.
But you put the Hirik below it?
Yeah.
Okay. In that situation, the Hirik does have to have something that carries it. So the letter that's right above, it typically does not carry the vowel. There are some exceptions, of course, as we've learned with the het. But this is one of those times where I could actually see an aleph being put at the end, and it would make sense, but the word may be, the Y, the yod sound, would carry that yoda, yoda is the Greek. That it would carry that, wrong, it's all Greek to us. That it needs something to carry that Hirik forward. And so the aleph would be an admirable choice, possibly an ayin, but I think the yod does it the best.
Well, it's just easier to put that little yid.
Yeah, yep. And that's the technical sound when you write it.
On Nave, the
Mhm.
second one you wrote,
Mhm.
what letter is that, the second
The
letter?
vav.
Oh, the vav.
Yep, that's a vav. Yep. Yeah, so there's two letters that make the va sound, and of course it's like we have to ask the question why. I do have an answer to this. From my understanding of things, which is faulty, but possibly correct. The va, the vet sound, goes all the way back. The vav used to make a wa sound. So it, like Arabic, has the wa sound to this day. So that would have been neu at that time, if you were going to use, obviously not that neu. But I suspect they probably didn't have that as a word. I don't know. But nave is probably because of the fact that Hebrew basically died out as a spoken language between the Babylonian exile and the 1700s AD. So for about, what would that be? About 1,200 years, Hebrew wasn't spoken as a language. And then in the early Zionist movement, before the Zionist movement, so the people who were revivalists tried to bring back Hebrew. It was the Ashkenazim that kept it going. The Ashkenazim were the ones who were like, we need to keep this thing alive, and it influenced everything. So, yeah. I think the Yemenite Jews may actually still say the vav is a wa. So, retaining some of the Yemenites, so they're from Yemen to the south of Israel. Yep.
And they have some of the most scrolls, don't they? The Yemenite scrolls.
Yeah. They have some of the earliest, most complete sets of scrolls out there beyond the Dead Sea Scrolls. Yeah. A lot of history there. A lot of history. All right. Any of these others? Or we got this one? Okay. A few more from this page. So, yeah, we have no, a couple ways to write that. I think that no could also, if you had an aleph at the end of one of those, that also is valid, I think. Yeah, because an aleph would have made it so, because it's like bo has an aleph, so it's a valid way to write it. Sel since we've up to this point only learned one sound that makes an S, this is the one that would work. Case, there's that yeah sound, the A. So case. Mow, as in to mow the lawn. Lace, and then set. So you notice how that one's a segol. As opposed to sate, it's set. You need to stand. Okay. Did you have anything different from this? I see you got some flashcards. Those look nice. Those look really very helpful.
I take him everywhere, literally.
Good. That's awesome. Those look really, really good.
Really great.
See, it's the little things in life. And that's one of those wonderful things right there. All right. This
My
is,
daughter stole them from me and started learning the alphabet on her own and came to me and started reciting them.
oh, Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Vav.
And then she said, well, actually we did it in class too, so she said sometimes you sneak that in.
I do, proudly. So here we have the matching here for the Hebrew words. Did anybody run into trouble with this one?
Yep.
Okay. Where did we run into trouble?
I eventually had to go online and do a little bit of research in Hebrew apps to fix a couple of them. Steadfast love was one of them.
Yeah, so Hesed. Yeah, this is, yeah. That's fine. I mean, the thing is, here's what I've tried to impress on everybody when I teach. It's when you make mistakes, that's where the learning happens. So make those mistakes, please. I can tell you I learn way more when I mess up than when I get it right the first time. If you make a mistake, good. It's a perfectly valid thing to do. So, of course, we have Chokhmah. We have,
Do we get to learn that vowel binding today?
which one?
The double,
The Shavah?
yeah.
Yes, we are going to learn that today. Yes. Yeah. Actually, we're going to learn what it does.
Yay.
We're going to learn quite a bit about that one today. So we have Chokhmah, we have Yeshua,
Yeshua, yeah.
Me'od. Yeah, Me'od. So in this case, it's almost kind of doing an eh sound, kind of eh. So it's Me'od. Chaim, that's right, Chaim. Davar, Chesed, yeah. Hen, yep. Hen, and then Kavod. Yeah, so I think I may have mentioned this with Kavod, but I want to remind you, Kavod means honor, but it also means heaviness. It's like when Yeshayahu, Isaiah, the prophet, is having his vision, the kavod of the Lord is in the place. And it's so this heaviness, his glory, his Shekhinah glory is in the place. And he's experiencing all of that heaviness from God. So that word to me is power, kavod. You can almost feel the weight of it dragging you down, like or pushing down on you, like, ooh. It's a great word. I love that one. Let's see. I'm sorry. Was any questions on this one? I should make sure to always ask for that. No questions on 85?
No.
Okay. 87. So we could translate the phrase tree of life. So did you find tree of life in there? So now remember how we say this, right? Eights. Yep. Eights. So remember, it's a sere. So it's going to be eitz. Yep, eitz chaim. Yeah. I'm overemphasizing the eitz sound so you can hear what it's doing. But most of the time, it's going to be just eitz chaim. You're not going to hear them saying a, leaning into the a sound as much. They're just going to say eitz chaim when they're speaking fast. Now, it's a little harder to find the tree of life in the verse. It appears with an and prefix, and it has the prefix. Were you able to find this one in the bottom? Yeah. So at the very bottom there, that corner, so you have va'etz chaim. And then it said, look again and underline twice more. So we have eitz there. And then we have circle good and good. So we have v'tov and tov. A lot of vocabulary review is happening there. Now here's the next one, page 90. This one, any trouble with this one?
No, we did it in class.
We did it in class. You're right. We did do this one in class. Yeah.
Will you pronounce those words for me?
Absolutely. So the top right is af, and going clockwise, af, and then it's ozen, and then the one at the bottom says panim. Panim. It's face. The word panim actually means faces. I think I mentioned this last time. The word panim takes into account that this is not stationary. There's a lot of expressions that happen, and so it literally you're going around with your faces. So, but it's your face in the singular collective. But face, panim, and then it's pe, as in pe, and in the letter pe. So, which means mouth, and it's a picture of a mouth. And then you have ayin at the top left. Ayin, yep. Ayin, and naim. So we haven't learned the spelling for that yet, but I can tell you the words. And then ozen, oznaim. Oznaim, yep. All right. I think this one we got, yeah? Okay, let's check at 91 here. So here we're finding pe, fe, and the Sofit form. Any difficulty with this one? Okay. So
Say pe and fe instead of pay and fe.
that's right. Pe, fe, Sofit. Fe, Sofit.
Can the Sofit be, is it just the F sound? Or
Nope.
It's also.
Yeah, it behaves exactly the same way as if it were just the original form. It's just that at the end of the word, they did this, I think I mentioned this before, they do these Sofit forms in some cases because they want to tell you where the end of the word is.
Yeah.
And it's much harder to see them if you, especially with the script originally being smooshed together, they would leave no space. And so they figured out, okay, I can't tell where the end of the word is. Fortunately, they had enough manuscript evidence and people who knew how to read them, they could be like, okay, let's separate these, but also let's make a final form.
Is there a dagesh in it if it's the P sound?
Yes.
Okay.
The dagesh makes it, that's a dagesh forte.
Yeah.
That is doing the work of hardening the letter from fe to pe. So, in this case, you actually see that first one on the left, or on the right rather, right to left. So this says af. What is that word? Nose. That's right. So find the word nose. We found that. And then the word apaim. What is the apaim? Do you remember?
Face.
Nope, that's panim. Noses. Not to be confused with Moses. Moses supposes his noses are roses. But Moses supposes erroneously. But so the word apaim means noses. Now, here we see an interesting expression, and this is going to come up later, and you're going to find this to be very insignificant. The book describes the word noses as a description of anger. I don't know if you've ever spent time looking at somebody's face when they're angry, but in the case of Psalm 30:33, it is the anger of God himself. It's an idiom that describes the flaring of the nostrils when someone becomes upset. And this idiom will become important when we get to Jonah. So you're going to see this, that nostrils flaring. Sometimes, honestly, Hebrew is way more descriptive than we would give it credit for. A lot of idioms show up in the language, and this is one of those times. So, in this passage, we're talking about God's anger, his nostrils flaring. It's kind of a weird looking thing, actually. The more you focus on it, the more you're like, what? Okay. Any questions on this one? All right. So this is a read aloud. Let's try this one. So this one, we'll push ourselves just a little bit. All right. Fa, fa, pav, pig. Yep, pig, yeah. Pal, pa. Yeah, so this one here, what's that?
It's silent.
Yeah, this one's not really doing anything, but it'd be like, if there was a mem sofit here, it'd be pa'am, for example, or pa'em, depending on what vowel pointing it had.
Doesn't have a tegesh, is there?
So it's, fa, fa, peel. Yep, the yod is not doing any sound in this case.
Oh.
Fein, fein, yep. It's into feign interest. Feign. Feign death, yes. Pafa, yeah, pafa, yeah. Tov. I don't think this shows up on the screen, otherwise I would use it. Ed, just ed. Ed. If it was a sere, then it'd be ed, but it's ed. C. Yeah. Safe. Safe. That's right. Tess. Yep. Suf, as in yam suf. Reads. So this is actually a real word. Aif. That's right. Af. Fet. Fet. Eat. Yep. You notice how this one is eat. Like so it's a harder e. As if it was an aleph, that would be eat. It's eat. A little bit more back. If. That's right. If. Peinav. That's right. Kuf, as in the letter, kuf. But I think the kuf is actually spelled with a kuf. But it's still that pronunciation. That's right. Hef, as in a good hefeweizen.
Yes.
Pim. Pim. Yep. Phi. Phi. Yep. Phi. In this case, the yud is doing something. Phi. Yep. Noch. Noch. That's right. Noch. Daf. Po. Yeah. Po. Yep. Again, the ayin in this case, not doing anything. Now this one, it is doing something. 8. 8. 7, 8, 9. Pain. It's like I'm in a lot of pain. Hebrew gives me a lot of pain. Del, that's right. Yep. Im. Good. Chaf. Chaf. Yep. Dom. That's right. Tov, meod. Yeah, nice. Yeah, I know. It's sometimes it's very subtle, but if you listen for the intonation, it'll become clear. Okay. Now here's another one where we spelled the sounds of these English words with Hebrew letters. So, did you run into difficulties with this one?
No, I just say words weird, I think. And so
No, what did you say? For which one?
knife,
Knife?
I put a, yeah,
What'd you say?
I put a E underneath the yid, like the,
Like a sigol with the 3 or the 2?
what, naive.
Oh, with an hierik. Okay. Oh, that'd be naif.
Knife, yeah.
But
I'm part of,
honestly, we're playing with phonetics.
Right.
It's fine.
I'm part of the Portland people from Minnesota, so that sounds weird.
Was that where you hail from originally?
Portland, no.
Oh, I was gonna say okay.
No, there's a little subset of people
Oh,
in Portland that say,
Portland.
like bag. I guess it's like a bag instead of a bag.
A bag. Yeah. Well, it's okay. It's like my dad. He would say Washington. Like, where did you get the extra R?
Conservation of ours.
I just went to a
I think it's a New England
Washington?
Washington.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Pastor said we worship you.
Warsh.
Pastor did. There's no R in worship.
Where do you get the R?
And the ends of words you drop it from.
Right.
That's the conservation of ours.
There you
So-
go.
It's a New England thing.
You're stealing it from one word and putting it in another? Okay. Well,
You're borrowing it.
I'm glad to I'm glad to know that I'm not crazy. Okay. Okay. Ed? Yeah. Could it be?
Oh,
In the previous page, it had another way of saying it.
Oh, with an iron.
I don't know, because I don't know that one.
That one looks like the Y.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one I use.
Okay. Yeah. That's valid. Did anybody put a sere there though? Because that would be aid, like as in give me some aid for student loans. Student aid. Yeah. Ed. To get the sound, you have to have the sere, the sigil. The sere goes an a. Okay. This one was fun for me, actually. Soapy. I like that one. I don't know why. I just like it. And then poof. This is a lot of fun too. I like that one. Poof. And see, here we see fade. See, fade. It's doing, fade. Anybody get anything different for that one?
So I don't need the little you.
No, you don't.
I was putting it in the right.
No, so from now on, I know you're the one who's liberally using the yuds. I know it's okay. It's liberal use of the yud is fine. The worst you can do is put a yud where it doesn't belong, and it's like people go, huh? That's all right. That's okay. Yep, pale. I actually really struggled with this one. I was like, okay, this really should have a yud there, but pay. It's doing the work. It's doing the work in the vowel pointing. So pale, and then safe, feet. There is no I sound in Hebrew. So it doesn't say fit, it says feet. Did anyone have anything different for that one? I thought for sure I'd get at least one person and I'd put a yud in there. For feet. Well, in that case, it wouldn't be doing anything. No, it wouldn't be doing anything, no. I think it would be a legitimate undertaking to say feet. With the yud, it wouldn't be doing anything. It's still just carrying the sound of the hierik.
No, with the A's I was putting.
Oh, the olives? No,
No, where the two dots below.
That's that,
like in pale,
yeah.
then I was putting it. Yeah, I was
Putting it here.
putting it, well, between the two letters, you
Oh.
know.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah,
I can see that. Okay.
would that be wrong?
Yeah, in that case it would be.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm sticking it where it doesn't go.
Yeah, vowel pointings don't typically go between letters. They're usually owned by one or the other.
Only like at the end, like where it makes that E sound, then I have to have it.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's about right. Yeah. Yep. So, this one, when I got, I definitely tried to see how to push myself a little bit here, and I found a pattern emerge for va. How many ways can you write va? I found a pattern. It was pretty straightforward. Literally just 2 vowel pointings, kamatz, patach. There's 4 ways for each of those, and then 2 letters that make a v sound, and then it's just a matter of what letter comes after that.
Yep.
Did anybody get anything different?
I just didn't write as many of them.
Yeah, there were, I have 16. I have 16 ways to write it. It's literally just, as soon as I saw this, I was like, okay, I got this one, I'm like, I got this one, and I'm like, oh, of course. Just repeat, but change one letter. Making these slides actually takes me a fair bit of time, if you can believe it.
It's appreciated.
Well, it makes a world of difference to me because otherwise I'd have to be like, okay, let me take a photo of the answer page, and that's not going to be as clear. This is much more fun anyway. Let's face it. I have a good time with this. And actually, playing with the colors, like on the next slide, you're going to see the colors really help. So I had this one: find and circle the tzadi, which I actually forgot to do. I dare very well. How dare you? So I found the tzadi here. And I believe that was the only one. Yeah. Don't be confused for the ayin. Nope, there's this one too. There's 2.
Oh yeah, that was the Sophie version.
Yeah, the Sadi and Sadi Sofit. I think it was just those 2. So I'll make sure to add those in with my circles later. Look again and find the word that means no or not. Here, again, color-coded. I put tov in green. So it's well hidden with the prefix, though. You notice how it has the prefix and the suffix? Yeah. So it's embedded. So sometimes the words are, and sometimes things drop off. So you won't see the whole stem in there. In this case, you do, but sometimes they don't.
Is that and good? Or?
No, hatov. So et haaretz hatova. So aretz is a feminine, and the word tova is modified. Is modifying that word. So it's a feminine suffix.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So haaretz tova. So it is the good land. Yeah, the good land. Haaretz tova. So it's telling you, it's referring back to the aretz, which is a feminine, grammatical feminine. So, yeah. So if you found the word tova or tov in that last word, tov meod. And the last word in the first line, I'm sorry, though righteousness appears clearly in English, tzedekah, it is obscured by a prefix and a suffix in the word here. Now, remember what I told you? Sometimes a letter will drop off. Here, the he drops off, and a tav is put in its place. Because it's telling you something. It's actually like the righteousness of God. In this case. you do. It's Vayadata. Now, in this case, this is one of those times where there is, in fact, a place where the kamatz is the last sound, and it does not need another consonant to carry it. It's not an ironclad all the time situation where you have to have a letter carrying the vowel sound. The ta is doing that for us. So, vayadata. So it's, let's see. Ki lo vatsedekta vatsedek vatsidekatacha. Vatsedetacha. Adonai Elohecha naten lach. Okay, so it's by the righteousness of the Lord that this land has been given, that the good land is given. Yeah. So not to get confused by that. But anyway, did anybody have any questions on this page? I've already spent more time on it than I intended. I'm just trying to parse it out so you can see, especially the fact that the he drops off instead of ka. Okay. Now, did anybody have some fun with this?
I did.
All right, so what does that first one tell you?
Feed oats to
Feed oats to my
my goats.
goats. All right. How about the next one?
Let's eat pizza.
Let's eat pizza. Good.
It's up to you.
Eats.
Hands off.
Hats off to you. Okay.
Let's go to a zoo today.
Yeah.
Question mark.
Yeah, there was this font that I'm using, oddly enough, doesn't have an apostrophe. So I had to use an accent to try to indicate that. Hats off to you. Let's eat pizza. Yeah.
Let's go to the zoo today.
Let's go to a zoo today.
Goats.
You goats would probably like that. I think they pretty much like anything, tin cans included. Nice. This one was fun. I liked it. This was a good one. All right, so there's some more real Hebrew words. What do you think?
Zatzlah.
What's that? What's that?
Allah.
Allah. No, yes, not Zion. It's Ayin. Ayin, not Zion. Allah. Okay. What's that? Me'ah. Me'ah. Yeah, me'ah. Good. Pe. Lates. Suf. Chametz. Now that chametz is referring to leavening. You have to hunt down the chametz in your house every day of preparation for the Passover. It's just an excuse to get you to deep clean your house. Im. That's right. Egal. Yep. Egal. Asaf. Af. Kanaf. Pa'am. Good. Pa'am. Tov. Tzafon. So now the tzade is hard. You're doing the T and the Z sound together. It's tzafon. Tzafon. That's good. Good. Excellent. Elef. Elef. Here just elef, not a. Because remember, it's segol. Segol makes an e. Just elef. Yes, 100. Elef is 100. Chayil, as in Eshet Chayil, the woman of excellence, in Proverbs 31.
Yeah.
So, Whether you're married to an Eshet Chayil or you are that Eshet Chayil, congratulations. It's a wonderful thing. Like, what better treasure could you find, honestly? Now, we talked about this one earlier. Hayom. As opposed to Hayam, because Hayam is the sea. Hayom is the day or today. Good. Now, this is a good one. Bah. Bah. Not a guttural, but it's just an aspirated he. So bah. Bah. Kind of, yeah. It's this one is actually a Dagash forte. This one is actually making the he a little bit more firm. Bah. Bah. Yeah, not a bach, because that would be a chet at that point. It'd be bah. It's kind of like that sound that your kid makes, like bah, bah, humbug. Chita, yeah. Chita, yep. Im. Chag, as in Chag Pesach Sameach, happy, joyful. Yom. 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 Day. Good. And we got some more. This is actually the second to last before we take a break. Let's do this. Here we go. In fact, what is this one? Pesach. Passover. So we say Chag Pesach Sameach. Happy Passover. Ki, as in because or for. Hayam or haya or lo haya, or. Yeah. Now, not to be confused with or, which is in fact light. But we will learn that one later. Bahem. Bahem. Good. Bachem. Bachem. Yep. Now here we go. We've seen this one before. Lechem. Yep. Good. Pesel. Azel. Which Azel? What? You don't like it? Henna. Henna. Yep. Amod. Stand. Amod. Yep. It's like a pillar or standing. Yeah. Oh, I missed this one. I'm sorry. Moab. 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 Moab.
Yeah.
Moab.
Moab. Yep. Moab. It's what you now call part of the Hashemite kingdom of Jordan. Or Moab, Utah. Yeah, but Moab is where it comes from. In fact, Moab is the kingdom south of this. It's a kingdom that is next to the kingdom that was eventually started by none other than Esau. Esau was the brother of Jacob, famously, and he was the principal ancestor of the Edomites. Moab is where Ruth comes from. Yeah. Also, David was a fourth-generation Moabite. He was technically not supposed to be king of Eretz Israel, but God works in his own way. That's right. Zag. Great name for a child. Nesech. Good. Nesech. Eitz. Tree. Eitz. Eitz. Tree. Ach. Not to be confused with brother, which is het. Ach. But this is the same pronunciation. Sam. Now, this one was nice. They showed you the contrast in shape.
Yeah.
Sam. Good. Eden. Eden. Yep. Eden. Gan Eden. Good. Matzah. At Pesach.
I see that on the packaging when I bought matzah.
Matzah shel Pesach. Kasher lePesach. Tov. Suf. Chalav. You usually have this in your cereal in the morning. Milk. Chalav. Yep, chalav. Ha'ar. Ha'aretz. Ha'aretz. Ha'aretz, the land. It's also, by the way, the name of one of the most prominent news organizations in Israel today, Haaretz. The land, appropriately named. And now this one, there's only a few things that we should definitely go over here. We found a grand total of 2 coups in this one. The first one is here, and the other is here. Now, pronounce Isaac's name, and we find it above there. Now, we're going to go ahead and actually pronounce it. What do you think? How do you think we would say this? Yitzchak. Yeah, so it means to laugh. To laugh. Yep, Yitzchak. Sarai laughed that God would provide her a son. She didn't believe it. And then she lies to God too. It says, "What are you laughing for?" And she's like, "I'm not laughing." So she names her son Yitzchak to prove that she wasn't laughing. So, what do you think? So this is a voice. What do you think this is? How would you say it is? Kol. Kol. Yep. So we have Yitzchak, Tzedakah, Tov, and then Chazak. Correct. Strong. It's also the thing that Joshua tells us we should be. Chazak va'amitz. Strong and courageous. Wonderful. Menucha. Break time. Menucha. You guys are doing awesome. We've finished the review. And then we'll have a chance to go ahead and learn some new concepts.